Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We've got some news about The Walking Dead and the mid-season return, as well as an episode rundown for season 9, episode 9 and 10, and some speculation about what's to come. We are talking The Walking Dead here, and this is The Broken Dead. Hey guys, once again, thanks for tuning in, whether you're watching on YouTube or listening as a podcast. We appreciate you. Also, hello to all our new listeners / watchers out there, as well as you crazy people who have chosen to return. We appreciate you. My name is Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
I'm Quin.
Not to be confused with the Lydia in The Walking Dead.
Yes, we've got a little
I don't
figurine behind you there.
I don't really fancy to wearing skin.
Oh,
Mine included. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, hey, she has
Right
a
there.
little Ezekiel pike.
She sure does.
Yeah,
Right.
and her mask.
Somebody went in for what they go in for? I think it was nothing and came out with that.
I have no clue who she's talking about. So yeah, you can check out the website. That's www.broken.picturesno.com. And excuse me. And you can find us on social media. On Facebook, we are Broken Pictures Social. Instagram and Twitter, we are Broken_social. And you can find us on Patreon if you'd like to support our little band of rebels.
Or if you hate us so much, you want us to do better.
Yeah.
The more money we get, the better we'll get.
Yeah, the more time we'll have to spend to do this, and more we could actually hire people to help us. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Notice my cough.
I'm
Anyways.
sick. Help me, I'm poor.
Please, sir, can I have another? But more importantly, though, for real, if you would just like and subscribe, share, rate and review if you're listening on podcast. If you're on YouTube, tag that little bell.
Ding.
And you can get notifications whenever we post a new video, which would be handy because recently, this is our first video back outside of the one I did a couple weeks ago that was just kind of like a catch up before the mid-season returned. Last week we didn't do an episode. I kind of had a relapse. If you've been watching our other show, the FOMO show, which is top 5 podcast or not.
Top 5 things you might have missed.
Yeah, might have missed in pop culture and entertainment. You'd know that
I don't even know what that word was.
We've all
I don't know that.
sorry. Yeah, so
He's been sick.
Yeah.
It was Valentine's.
I kind of had a relapse this past week too. I was in bed a lot.
And by relapse, he means because since he didn't sleep for 36 hours, he then slept for 36 hours.
Yeah. So anyways, that's what happens when you shoot and edit and everything on yourself. It's a guerrilla type situation.
After
You're doing
driving to
everything.
Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
That
that was
morning.
one of the things too. Is I threw off our schedule because I had an audition in Oklahoma City last week. So also, also if you tag the little bell, you'll get notifications when we do put something out. So if we do get a little behind and we're off schedule a little bit, you'll get notified when things come out. And Lydia and I are engaged, and our wedding is quickly approaching.
67 days.
It's very quickly
that's
approaching.
really fast.
Yeah.
All right.
So the closer our wedding date gets,
The less time we will have for this.
yeah, and this might get off a little bit. So just be warned, and those that little bell notification will let you know when something does get put out, if it does come out late or whatever. Excuse me. So
Spoilers.
also,
Spoiler alert.
yes, spoiler
You're gonna
alert.
get spoiled.
We are definitely going into spoiler territory, and spoilers aren't necessarily spoilers anymore. They could be spoilers wearing a mask.
Dun, dun, dun. Do you call those spoilers? Get it? Get it?
She whispers. Spoiler alert. That's fun.
Ta-da.
Just want my daughter.
Can I rate the episode first?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm giving the episode 3 different ratings. One for tone.
Yeah. So also, I'm sorry. Just to I just derailed everything.
Every time.
I'm sorry. Just to preface, we are going to cover, because we missed last week, we are going to cover a little bit from episode 9 and episode 10, the most recent episode. So we're just going to kind of smooth cover both of them here.
Yes, and my rating is for both of them,
Okay.
both episodes. And so I'm giving 3 ratings. A 5 for tone, a 5 for detail orientation, but a 7.5 for content that's actually propelling the story along. I can defend those answers later if you'd like.
You're not very
Giving?
giving.
No. I so
She's
far
very-
don't like this at all.
You don't like the Whisperer arc?
No. No. That is not what I said.
What?
I like the Whisperer arc. I like the content. I do not like how they are trying to do it. They are missing very big details.
Without Carl and without Rick.
Carl. They're trying to patch it together to make it work. I don't like it. And I really don't like the tone. It's supposed to be the darkest we've ever seen. And it's almost in a sense the lightest we've ever seen. To me, this
Really?
does not feel like Terminus. This does not feel like the prison, the governor, which I all thought was super dark. Well, I mean, darker for The Walking Dead. I feel like there are moments where it shines through, the darkness shines through, whatever. But the whole, yeah, whatever.
We're on
But
an
the
inverse
whole
plane here.
episode, in a sense, is not giving me this. I'm not walking away like
Freaked out.
mortified by
Yeah.
what I've seen or anything.
Yeah,
Not at all.
I can see your point on that. I thought they were decent. As far as I heard that episodes 9 and 10 were because they released them both ahead of time to the press, that they were kind of like you needed both of them to support each other, which isn't really. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could say that's weak writing, but I get it in a series. When you're going from episode to episode, sometimes you just have filler. But when you couple it with the mid-season finale and pick right up where Jesus died and everything, I think it was pretty decent.
Fair. Is that your rating?
Yeah, pretty decent.
Pretty decent. Well, I'll give them both. Both combined, 7 little piggies out of 10.
Agreed.
Yeah, and I of
Can
course
respect
my signature move here is to bring it back around to me and have something else to say after everybody finishes. So yeah, I feel like I'm watching because I want to see how they're going to do it, and I'm interested to see if they can salvage the series without Carl, without Rick, without soon to be. Without Maggie, soon to be without Michonne coming up,
And
without
Ezekiel.
Jesus. Yeah, that was for later, but
Spoiler.
spoiler. Yeah, so that's something we were going to reveal later.
So sorry.
Ezekiel is also leaving the show, so there's rumors that Henry's leaving too. So there's
Good.
And-
I don't
and-
like him anyway.
and Negan could potentially be leaving the show just because his arc is nearing an end. So they're building up these B characters. I don't know. We can get into that later
Yeah.
when we talk about what's coming next.
yeah.
But yeah. So yeah, I don't feel like it's just like you said, like it's just cliffhanger material. Like it's just at their very best. But for what they're working with, I think they're doing well. But I don't think that's really fair.
There's still some shock factors they haven't
Mhm.
used yet, and it might just be pure shock that they use to get you to feel like, oh, this is horrible.
But to me, if that's what they're doing, they've got to have even just the feeling that you get while you're watching it. I'm not scared. I'm not scared for the characters. I don't feel like I'm watching a horror or anything like that. And then you're going to put some more episodes here like that. And then boom, you're going to kill everybody. It's just like, I'm not getting that feeling at all.
I don't know. Some of the fun that I'm having is the genre callbacks, where you've got the horror, like the and the ding, 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 you know, that kind of stuff.
They're putting it in there, but it's not right. It's not all the way for me. They're making the effort to put it in there, but there's something about it that they're not.
It's just not going there.
It's not making it. Yeah, they're missing the mark for me.
I can appreciate what Angela Kang is doing, and I would not want to be in her shoes right now. Where
Oh, absolutely not.
it's basically it's like
I don't blame it on her at
here's
all.
your toolkit. We're gonna pull, and by the way, we're gonna take away half your tools and expect even greater from
Here's
you.
a half-broken screwdriver,
Yeah.
a hammer with no handle, some tape that's been in here since 2000. Like
yeah,
they're
it's melted onto itself.
Yeah.
Here's some
Exactly.
silly putty. I don't know why, but just here.
I would be using it
Who
as
needs duct
regular
tape?
wall putty. I'm not sure if that works the same or not.
Yeah. So this episode, episode 9, if you want to do your famous
yeah. Okay.
title and description. It's been a while.
It's been a very long while, but was that Adaptation?
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you were singing the band. That was the song I was singing. I was like, no, that's not them at all.
It's Stained.
You laugh too hard. Okay. Adaptation. The communities thought they could build a better future separately. But since the recent loss of one of their own drives them to band together, new leaders will rise when a disturbing and dangerous threat is unmasked and an escaped convict. Captive. Oh, well, he is a convict.
That's true.
Technically.
That's true.
Convict.
Captive.
You can't sing all these songs. You can't afford to pay for them.
My bad.
Revisit his past.
Unless y'all go to support us on Patreon.
Hang Akon. Just do that. No. Want me to do the other one too?
Yes. And episode 10 as well, please.
All right.
These are the official descriptions, by the way.
All right. A new arrival at Hilltop opens. Yeah. Other line. Opens up. I can't see. All right. I'm reading right here. A new arrival at Hilltop opens up about the leader of a group wearing masks. Savages search. Wait, what?
Read it and then read it.
Okay. A new topic.
He's not wearing his glasses.
I'm
today,
not.
folks.
So everything gets blurry from here to there. Okay. A new arrival at Hilltop opens up about the leader of a new group of mask-wearing savages. A search party sets out on a daring mission to find their 2 missing friends.
Yes. And when we last left The Walking Dead, before the break, Jesus was sucker stabbed by a whisperer.
Sucker stabbed.
And Negan escaped his cell. The past episode left off with Negan agreeing to return to his cell. Michonne and the Alexandrians are headed home. Luke and Alden were captured, and Daryl and the Hilltop were interrogating Hillary? Interrogating Lydia and using Henry as a pawn to get info from her.
Without his knowledge.
Yep. And he was pissed.
He was a little upset.
All right, so let's get into our discussion and episode breakdown. On our story arcs, we've got Michonne and company. They encountered more whisperers, captured Lydia, returned to Hilltop with Jesus's body and Lydia, and they buried Jesus in the Alexandrians. And they buried Jesus, and the Alexandrians leave. They didn't bury Jesus and the Alexandrians.
No, but they left. Like,
Not
funeral
yet.
wasn't even over.
Yeah, that was
and
kinda
Michonne's
cool.
like, gotta go, man.
Yeah, and
Daryl, you know what you gotta do if she ain't cooperating.
Yeah, and somebody even had to like grab Aaron. Poor Aaron is like just trying to say goodbye to his friend, you know, and they're just like, "Time to go, bro." And he's
Yeah.
like, "I'm sorry, it's all my fault."
Can I toss something in there about Aaron real quick? You didn't put him on the list. I loved Aaron's moment with Michonne in that episode where he's like, I get it now. You're right. We've got to do absolutely whatever we can to stay inside the walls because we made a stupid choice and Jesus died for it. Like, this is so absolutely necessary that we have to do this now. And I really like that because it shows the growth and the maturity that someone like Aaron who wants to love and be positive and very I get very hippie vibes from him. In a sense, like that's the switch that clicked. Like it took one more loss. His hand was fine. First boyfriend did a number on him or whatever, but now it's just like, I can't take it anymore, you know? And so we've finally seen Aaron, in a sense, come to the dark side.
Yeah. Is this what finally breaks Aaron? Because, I mean, if you couldn't get more, by the way, this is comic book Rick about Aaron.
Yeah.
He just looks just like him. So is this the point where he actually becomes gritty like comic book Rick?
I'm a little aggravated, though. You killed all of his love interests. Every single gay person you have now murdered besides Tara, and that's not how that works.
Yeah, and we've got, what, 3 lesbians and one gay dude. Because Magna and
Magna and
Yumiko.
That hasn't been like officially confirmed.
Yeah, it has. Absolutely has.
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Yeah, they are absolutely
then the
together.
scene with Enid is confusing to me because Magna said, I had one of those too.
Yeah, Yumiko.
Had. Past tense.
No. No, she says, I have one of those too.
I thought she said had.
Nope. They even talked about it on the Talking Dead because they were both on there this week. And they talked
I fell
about,
asleep. They were boring.
And Nadia Hilker, who plays Magna, she got kind of weird with it, but it was kind of funny. Yeah, she's an interesting individual.
I'm gonna learn more about her because her accent is something, and I haven't nailed it down yet.
Yeah, they're talking like she's German because they were talking about how they were speaking different languages to each other and stuff, and her and the lady that plays Yumiko, but her accent is very American. Like she doesn't sound like she has a foreign accent.
I think she absolutely does. She sounds what, you know, the girl from NCIS
Ziva?
Why are you making that face?
She sounds like Ziva.
Oh, she sounds Israeli?
Yes.
Okay.
I couldn't think of the word.
That makes sense.
Israelite.
I
Yeah,
don't think
she
they go
sounds
by
very
that
Israeli.
anymore.
I know, that's what I was like. I'm never
It's
gonna
been
say
like
that.
a millennia.
I don't know.
But yeah, she could very well be Israeli.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's my best guess. I'm gonna learn more about her later. But on to Negan.
Yes, so Negan's story arc and over the past for the episode 9 because
We didn't see him in 10.
Yeah, he wasn't. So
we didn't see anybody in 10 hardly.
So he basically gets out. He goes to Michonne's house, gets some new clothes and Judith's compass. He encounters Judith as he tries to leave at dawn, which Angela Kane cleared that up because everybody was like, "Why is he leaving in broad daylight when he got out of his cell at night?" And she was like, "Well, that's supposed to be actually dawn."
Oh.
So, but he
they
was.
do a really bad. I don't like how they do that. They're not portraying time passage very well. Like
Yeah,
whenever
that's true.
Yumiko and the whole group originally leaves, like it's dark and we don't see that it takes that long that they go that far away. But then it's like high noon whenever they get back. And it took Yumiko and Magna all this time to get back. They're just now arriving. And then 2 minutes later, the rest of the group is back. It's like, y'all were right behind each other. Did you not know?
Yeah, that might just be the Georgia summertime sun early in the morning.
Okay, I can
noon.
definitely attest to the fact that it is hot at 7 o'clock in the morning during the summer in Atlanta. Been there, done that. You're sweating when you wake up and have coffee. You want to have it cold. But time of day, you can tell what it looks like.
And
Definitely
that
does not
also
look like morning.
Also makes me think about just the scene. And they've always had this issue where when it's dark and they're filming, you can hardly tell what's on the freaking screen.
No,
it's
you
so
can't
dark.
see a thing.
Just gotta turn all the lights off in the room.
Yeah, we do too.
We're in complete pitch black.
Oh.
And
Yeah, and it's
Well.
just
Oh well.
maybe our screen's too dark. But I've heard other people complain as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he's leaving at dawn. He's wearing Rick's clothes and he's carrying a bag of supplies.
Michelle's going to be mad because she was going to wear that shirt next week.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, we've seen we've seen Negan dressed like Negan. We've seen Negan dressed like Rick, and then here later we see Negan act like Daryl as well on the motorcycle. So they're I guess they're trying to make these personal connections. It's like yeah, he's one of the guys now. But yeah, so Judith catches him trying to leave, and she's doing the whole gun. It's like, hey, get down. And he talks her into he barters with a 10-year-old for his life, and she lets him go. And which to me, this whole interaction is weird.
Yeah. Very uncomfortable.
It seems a little forced.
Yeah.
Because they're sharing a story with Carl, who he had connection with throughout All Out War. Had they had that connection through All Out War, and we're supposed to believe that, okay, well, over the time jump, they've had this connection, but we didn't see it, so it doesn't feel real,
We're
I guess.
less
Seen it, like,
invested in it.
twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he gets out and quickly realizes that he doesn't have the juice anymore. He encounters his walkers while he's eating, and his supplies get all walker juice
Walker
all over
juicy.
him. And, yeah.
Ugh.
So then he encounters these wild dogs at a store, gets a new coat, loses his shovel, kills a puppy.
Unnecessarily what it seemed like, okay?
It's for his life. It's for his life.
No, but like my conflict is he's scared of the dog ripping into him, a able to run cognitive person, but a walker killed a dog.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we know this is not a good analogy because we just heard about a dude that wrestled a panther to death. Or a
Yeah,
cougar to
okay,
death.
yeah. It didn't have to happen
could
like that.
Yeah, I want to see more of this type of storytelling on The Walking Dead. Where are all the wild animals? And
Did
that
you not
wasn't-
hear about that story?
No.
He
Yeah,
straight
the
up
dude's from
choked
Arkansas,
a
too.
cougar to death.
Why?
Yeah, he was hiking in Colorado and encountered
It was the baby.
Yeah, it was under a year old, but
sad.
it apparently wasn't just like crazed or anything like that. It kind of was playful with him, but it attacked him, and he ended up having to fight for his life and choked it out, like choked it to death.
Wow.
And according to him, I was just a baby and I did what I had to do, wasn't that big a deal, But everybody else is just like, oh my God, he's Grizzly Adams.
There's two sides of it where it's like, how could you do this? And then the other side is like, how could you do this?
Yeah, there's a really good meme going around where he's talking to the press and the lady next to him is like biting her lip. She's like,
His fight with the cougars are done.
yeah.
Because she's obviously older than him.
So yeah, I mean,
That's funny.
that was one of the elements that we've been wanting to see on The Walking Dead, and we've mentioned before, is the wild animal aspect. These wild animals are probably running rampant by now, and I know, we saw the walkers eating horses, and we've seen the walkers, take
Eat a tiger.
deer, and that type of thing.
Oh, sorry.
But think about wild boar, something that's intrusive and could just go to town at a walker and eat a walker, and there would be no walker left. And I don't think the walkers could win unless they're in a horde, against some wild boar. So where are all these wild animals that they're having to deal with?
It should be
Daryl
much
set
more I Am
traps.
Legend than it is.
Yeah, there should be. You've got the walkers to deal with, but I feel like the wild animals at this point are definitely more of a threat, except for now that we have the whisperers. But I feel like that's something that they just left on the table and they could have used.
Yeah.
But maybe they're deciding to use it with the whole wild dog aspect, and maybe animals are just too hard to do or too expensive to do.
Maybe too expensive.
Well, if old Yeller can do wild hogs, then
And Wild Hogs has actually been done before. Tim Allen played a great Wild Hog.
Wow.
That was such a
Wow.
good movie. Moving on.
Yeah. So yeah, he gets out. He encounters the dogs and loses his way. Finally finds the sanctuary and finds it dead, and even finds some old dead walkers or saviors rather.
Something you definitely didn't mention is the stream scene. Since he lost his water, he drinks out of the stream, and then we see him throwing up. But that exact place that he is in is exactly where he stood when he murdered Abraham and Glenn. And so,
and he's kneeling this time.
yeah. So I had the question, like, obviously he's probably thrown up from the nasty stream water, but is he also so tormented by his guilt of what he had done that it also made him sick? I personally prefer that storyline better to rectify Negan. And especially if you're going to try and bring him back in. And
why leave that open-ended like that?
Exactly. Like, I loved
show
bringing
show
it back,
us the
but show him
torment.
that that's the reason.
Yeah, people need to see that he is a changed person. They need to see
Right.
that torment. They need to see him tormented because like people are not buying that he's converted, that he's turned.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So then he does get to the sanctuary. He finds everything gone. No one's there. And then there is one Savior Walker that is still there that he oddly enough keeps as a Michonne pet type thing where he goes out, kills all the other walkers, and then leaves that walker, kind of brings him back to the door. And I told Dylan this. I was like, he needs a following. He's a people person. He has to have someone worshiping him, which is why he said, I save people. I'm a savior. But then he kills them.
Yeah. Well,
which
he
is
kind of realizes that, you know, he needs to be where he needs to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of realizes and rectifies the wrong there.
Yeah. And I would not have seen the point of that scene had Lydia not said something about, you know, he needs to have people following, even if it is a dead person. So yeah, that was pretty good.
You put grabs a bike. That fool broke down a wall to get
like
in there with perfectly
bikes.
fine gasoline. How many years has it been? And this gas just sitting in this hidden bike just gonna crank right up. Like, what?
Yeah, for real. And Daryl and them never found the secret location while they were there or what.
But the rats did.
Yeah. Rats find everything.
Darn old rat.
They're like Baskin Robbins. They always find out. And reference.
Oh.
Anyways. So Alden and Luke, they go out looking for Yumiko and company before Michonne returns. And then they go out, they bond over some music and talk about the fair. And Luke is trying to get him to join his band. And then they get captured by the Whisperers.
Which to me was really stupid, really unnecessary. Why in the apocalypse do you get off your horse and then walk miles away from it? So stupid. Why would you
miles
ever do
away?
Well, I mean, not miles, but I mean, they walked far enough away from the horses that they couldn't run back and get back on them.
Well, yeah, I don't know. They don't really know about the Whisperers yet.
No, they don't know, but regular walkers, you can kick your horse and run away from them.
They can handle themselves pretty much. And plus, he had to get down because he was tracking Yumiko's arrows.
He couldn't look and be like, oh, wow, there's an arrow.
Well, he was collecting them.
Wow, there's an arrow.
Say she only made like 100. So
and then we get the scene that was remixed with Alpha, where she the trail ends here. Yeah. it's like can't sit here, and rather than don't move, which I think would have been more impactful.
Yeah,
like I don't know why you had to change it, but anyways, maybe they thought that was more clever. So yeah, they're captured. So Daryl, Henry, and Lydia have a little arc here. They they come back with Lydia. They put her in the jail cell next to Henry. And even though Michonne and Tara and all them interrogate her, they can't really get anything out of her. She's aggressive, non-compliant. She attacks Daryl, and then after Jesus's funeral, or in the middle, right after, I guess, Daryl threatens her, and then he discovers that she responds to Henry, and Henry's very naive about her, so he listens to them talk and kind of uses that. And then Lydia tells Henry about her past, and Henry gives Lydia info about the kingdom, but Daryl releases him before he can say more, and they both come to...
No, you keep going.
Oh, they come to a loose understanding that she needs both of them to open up.
So, okay, I don't too much like this Lydia. I feel like she's too not enough. Because like Lydia in the comics is really freaky nasty.
Oh, she licks his eye
socket.
But the whole worm thing, I guess, was supposed to be a replacement for that.
Gross.
Not
No.
enough though, huh?
But like, even still, like Carl got her released when he got released. Then they interrogated her. Then they went on the hilltop and had sex.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They went all the way.
Yeah, they went all the way.
Yeah.
And then she broke his heart. But that's a whole nother thing. So I don't.
Wow. So they're not going full on Lydia. They're not getting the full Lydia.
No.
This is so uncomfortable for me.
So yeah, they basically decide that Daryl's found the marks that her mom has put on her, and kind of, revealed something about himself, and he's got to protect her and feels responsible for her.
So I feel like I have to quickly make an apology about the rate that I had originally, because I forgot how much I did love that in episode 10, how we see she's an unreliable narrator, because I called it. Dylan, I paused it and I was like, Dylan, it's her mom. The dad didn't shave his beard. It's her mom shaving her head. I called it all before it happened.
Yeah.
As soon as
the dad was shaven and then unshaven, I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Something's not right.
Yeah, because they obviously make a point to point it out. And so whenever the next scene, Daryl's like, this doesn't add up, because if your dad was a singer, like sang to you when you were scared, he's not the kind of person who would have beat you, because those people thrive on that fear. And so I really enjoyed how they made it. They made us hate the dad and then show us it was the mom, so that that hate just translated right over. Because it's harder to hate a mom because you're just like, oh, she's doing it for her kid. She's not crazy. La, 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 la. When in reality, she is. She's terrible,
Yeah, and we'll get into that a little bit more when we cover Alpha's thing.
Yeah, sorry.
So that's fine. Then Henry releases Lydia for a tour in the middle of the night. Before attacking him, she has a breakdown. She goes to grab a hammer behind her, and then she hears a baby cry, and because there's a baby crying later with the Whisperers. And so it's like, I don't know what the connection there is, maybe.
To me, she always is saying, these places don't survive. These places don't survive. You have to be hard to survive. And she's like, this place is soft. It's going to fall. But then she's like, wait a second. It's not falling because they're able to reproduce. Like, she sees the similarities between her two groups, but then realizes that she's wrong. All of the things that she's known is wrong, because she was taught from such a young age that you had to be this way or it didn't work. And she's being like slapped in the face with, it does work a different way.
Yeah.
That was how I took it.
Okay. Yep. So then she has a breakdown. They go back to the cell, and her and Henry spend the night together, but just holding hands through the bar. So we got a very limited cable AMC version of the crazy night. Lydia also realizes that what she knows about her past is a lie fed to her by her mother, and she opens up to Daryl and Henry. Daryl sees himself in her, and decides not to give her up.
I have a question about Lydia. So I was a little conflicted about feeling, did Lydia really not think that her mom would come back for her, or was she lying?
I don't know. That's a good point.
Which
did
one?
she really?
She did feel like her mom wouldn't come back for her.
Wow. So that to me is like going to be a huge conflict.
Yeah.
Because when we get to Alpha, I'll talk about it more.
Okay.
Because we know.
Crazy.
So now that she's opened up to them, they've opened up to her more, and she knows more about them and where the kingdom is and all that kind of stuff. So if she does double agent and flip back to her mom and the Whisperers,
it would really break Henry's heart.
Yeah, and they're gonna have all this info. She flips sides again. She flip flops. So Rosita, Eugene, and Sadiq, we got a little love triangle. Or actually a love square going on if you include Gabriel.
Because they did the thing, which I'm kind of happy they didn't make Rosita like a little thotty Bugatti.
Well, have you seen the meme? And it's like the one where the guys turn around looking, and it's the dude turn around looking, but he's looking at Rosita, but it's like Gabriel, Abraham, Sadiq. It's like all these dudes. Eugene. So of course Sadiq fixes Eugene up, and Rosita checks on him. Eugene decides to confess his love once again, but Rosita interrupts him in the middle of it, runs outside to vomit. So naturally Sadiq checks on her because apparently they got a past and find out he's her baby daddy.
Which her and Gabriel couldn't have been together that long then.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, how does she know?
Yeah. She's just quick to fall in love. That's all it is.
Yeah. Maybe she it was kind of like what's his name? The son of the old leader of Alexandria.
Just kind of like a fling
that
happened a few times, and then it's like oh, I think I actually like this person. I'm gonna go date them now for real.
Yeah, of course she wouldn't tell Gabriel, I guess,
Yeah.
she's Rosita.
Well, we don't know that Gabriel doesn't know.
That's true. And
we just know that he doesn't know she's pregnant. Otherwise, he would have never let her go.
Yeah. But also, yeah, that's true. That's very true. And from the teaser that we've seen where Gabriel's kind of got his head down and she's in the background, that's probably where he found out. So
that's about to get. So she might still die.
Yeah. And in the comic, wasn't she pregnant with Sadiq's baby or something like that?
She was pregnant with Sadiq's baby, but she was with Eugene and then she got caught up.
Yeah. She ended up on the pike. So Yumiko and company, they return to the hilltop with Michonne and company, and they discover that Luke and Alden went looking for him. Tara tells them to. Well, actually, they went looking a little bit with Tara, and then Tara brought him back and said, "Stay put." And
when they found the horses. And stuff.
That's what it was. So then they later decide to sneak out and find Luke because ride or die. And at night so they get overwhelmed by the darkness and the night. And they decided to head back, even though that whole scene was a little confusing. I feel like everything Yumiko said should have been said by Magna. Like their lines should have been swapped because Yumiko.
In the beginning?
No, once they got out into the forest, because before they left, Yumiko was the one who was like, yeah, let's go. And as soon as they get out there, Yumiko was like, no, let's head back. And it was like, you really changed your mind quick.
Oh, yeah. And like everything, I felt like Kelly should have said all of those things when they were going to originally go look for him, not after they were already out looking.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, that whole scene, that whole thing just seemed like a setup.
It was really contrived.
Yeah, very contrived. Especially with the whole thing, where they're coming back and Connie is just whimsily so far behind everybody for no apparent reason. And like she couldn't just run up ahead and go inside with them, it just doesn't make sense.
Like they had to have her out there for her to be trapped outside next episode.
Yeah, very contrived. Yumiko apologized to Tara. Tara, hey, I'm just trying to look out for you and do the best. Don't know what I'm doing here. I'm really starting to respect Tara as a leader. Like she's actually stepping up and being a very thoughtful leader rather than just going with her gut,
No, yeah.
She had the opportunity to see various leaders, before they got to this point. She was there when Rick.
She came from under the governor too.
Yeah, so she's seen that. She's seen Rick during his dictatorship when they first got to Alexandria, Hilltop when it first existed, Maggie at Hilltop. She's had a lot Oceanside.
Jesus.
Yeah. She's had tons of examples to figure out the kind of leader she wants to be. Now she just has to do it.
Very good parent. All right, so down to Alpha. So she lied to Lydia to make her think that she was actually more like Carol. In the very beginning, we're thinking, oh man, she's like Carol, she's crazy. But then we find out she's actually more like Ed.
Yeah.
So she's the crazy one, and so then she captures Luke and Alden, has her little moment with, Trail Ends here. And she brings a group of Whisperers to the hilltop to trade them for Lydia, says that she does not want conflict, even though all signs point to the opposite.
She's a very interesting character. And I'm curious how they're going to do her for the rest of this season and her rest of her existence. Because she's... So, the way the Whisperers work, they are pretty much, if you're the strongest, you lead and you can't show any type of weakness, which from that, they've let, horrible things happen. She's let horrible things happen to Lydia because of that. And, she wants to feel, but she knows she can't because somebody will, challenge her for the spot and then just, you're weak, and then take her out.
Oh, so she's actually kind of a conflicted person.
Yeah.
Oh,
so that's why they refer to her as Alpha.
Mm-hmm. So more than just a psychotic, mentally unstable person.
Yeah, she's in that spot because she killed the leader, the Alpha, before her.
Oh,
so and now with her being here and everything, as far the season's going to continue on, you're going to find more out about Lydia and what her mother just kind of let happen, and her mother, but. Super spoiler, they probably won't even do this. Lydia Alpha let Lydia go back with them after she took Lydia from Hilltop in the comics. And she told Rick after they had some words, right before they left, happy that you're taking her, in short. I'm happy that you're taking her because I know I can't protect her here.
Oh, wow.
Which to me is really odd that Daryl just like is like, boom, you can't have her. It's like, bro, why don't you swap them? You got two good, hardworking people over there.
Well, I get because he feels a connection to her. Like she's like him, you know?
What? Daryl has never been portrayed as stupid.
No, he's not stupid. But
exactly. That's a stupid choice.
The one weakness he does have is taking care of young ladies. Like he's like this is his new Beth.
Which is sad though, because he saw how that played out.
Yeah. Right in the head.
Yeah. So, oh shoot, there was something else I was going to ask about Alpha. Oh, her accent. Like when I first heard the teaser, it was like, I am Alpha. You know, I was just like, oh my gosh, that is the horrible Southern accent. It's like Memphis Belle, you know, it's like Scarlett O'Hara, Gone with the Wind.
In fairness, I originally defended it, so.
Yeah. But the more I hear her, the more it sound like I'm buying it. You know, I'm not necessarily, but I'm okay with it. Yeah, that's true.
She is not. It doesn't sound. It sounds like a hard to believe accent, but she's not doing it bad. Is what it is. Is why it's starting to grow on people.
And the more I hear it, it also sounds a lot like a Southern Baptist preacher type, and that it's kind of like also lends itself to like a leadership. Like kind of draws you in type accent too.
What was that face?
I don't necessarily agree with you, but I have never been to a East Coast Southern Baptist.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying like stereotypical Southern Baptist, Southern preacher.
Okay, well, I grew up and went to multiple Southern Baptist church, and none of them talk like that.
Whatever. Anyways, but what is classically portrayed as that is what I mean. Not necessarily like real world, but
okay, I can get that.
So, all right. So let's get into next on The Walking Dead. Next episode title coming up. You want to read that, or you want me to read it? And you got a title and description for the next episode 11.
You can read it.
Oh, it's going to be Bounty.
I want to read it.
Okay.
Lydia can read it.
Go ahead.
Description. The savage group led by Alpha confronts the Hilltop in a harrowing attempt to retrieve her daughter. A supply run for the kingdom turns into a dangerous quest.
Yep. So we got some teasers. The next episode teaser, we've got Alpha saying, bring me my daughter or there will be conflict. Daryl approaches her and tells her you can't have her. And Alpha answers, wrong answer. So then we get clips of the Hilltop opening up the front door to talk to Alpha. Connie lost in the cornfield. Some whispers kind of like looking like they're tracking her, finding her in there or whatever. And we get, of course, Alden and Luke bound and looking distressed. And we get actually a shot of Lydia cleaned up.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's very quick. I missed it the first time. I had it on repeat. And then we also get distressed Enid just kind of like turning and running. So if Daryl walks up and just says no, I'm seeing this as very much like a governor situation where one of them is about to lose a head, where she says wrong answer, whack, you know. So who do you think was going to go, Luke or Alden?
Luke.
Alden.
I'm thinking Alden.
If y'all kill Alden, I swear I'm so sick of y'all killing people right after they fall in love with somebody.
She kills Luke in the comics. Like the Smooth just cut his head off with the machete. But so I'm just gonna say Alden.
I thought Luke was on the pike.
They took his head and let it zombify.
Oh dang!
Yeah, like all these heads zombified, and then like when they created the border wall, and then as they were going back, Rick, Lydia, Carl, after she went back, and they took them all down and like disposed of them properly. Maggie Michonne was there too. I feel like I'm missing somebody. But yeah, so they take him and let him zombify. and then take their bodies to skin them.
That's terrifying.
Nasty.
But
So
we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. That's all.
Yeah, so then we get, excuse me, some clips of Carol, Ezekiel, Jerry, Diane, etc., Kingdom people out and encountering some walkers. They, from the description, they're on a supply run and it looks like things go sideways, which it hasn't happened in a long time. So I'm curious to see if it's actually walkers or whispers that they encounter.
Or walkers led by a whisperer.
Maybe.
Do
Or is it
Carol
Beta?
and them know
Maybe.
about him?
I don't think so. Not as far as we know.
Because Michonne and them didn't come back with Jesus until after Carol had left, right?
Carol doesn't know.
Yeah, Carol had already left.
So
But she didn't even know about Jesus yet.
Like, to me, the first thing that you would have done if you kept your community separate and you didn't have like constant communication is create a mail system.
Yeah, send a raven.
That's literally the
Send
first
a
thing
raven.
that people come up with is a way to
It's a
communicate
raven
with.
from the kingdom.
Pony Express.
Literally. It's a dove.
Then we've got a Talking Dead sneak peek, which is basically the same thing that AMC has on YouTube as a teaser. We get Daryl telling Magna, Kelly, and Tara, is that the new shipping? And Terrell?
No.
Please no. She's gay anyways. She's not interested. So anyway, they're all up on the wall and they're looking out at the Whisperers, and Daryl tells them, what do I get written here? That Lydia told him what her mom does to her, so they're not sending her back to that. And Tara says that if she has Alden and Luke, that pissing her off could get them killed. And then Magna just straight up asks if Alpha has killed their friends, and Alpha says no. So then she asks, which one of you is the leader? And Daryl says, hell does it matter? And of course, Alpha says that she'll just address them all. She says, your people crossed into our lands. There will be no conflict. Your people killed our people. There will be no conflict. I'm done talking. Bring me my daughter or there will be conflict. And then it cuts off. So what do you guys think of all that? Conflict? You think there's going to be conflict?
Yeah.
Nah. I think it's just going to die out and go away, and then we'll gracefully just kind of coast into season 10.
I think Daryl's gonna kill Alpha.
Yeah?
I think it's gotten so weird and they're mixing so much around that they're probably just go ahead and let Daryl do it and do other things with Negan.
Oh, because in the comics, Negan kills her, right?
Yeah. After he was
infiltrates.
Yeah.
That would be interesting if Negan became the next Alpha.
But I don't think he would wear skins.
No,
I don't think he's really into wearing skins, though.
I don't think so either. He likes some leathers, but not the same type of.
That's nasty. Okay.
This is chaps. Negan's assless chaps.
What in the world?
I don't know why I had that mental image, but it's hilarious.
That's disgusting.
Anyways. Okay, I'm the only one who thinks that's funny, apparently.
Yes.
Anyways, so there's a couple reports coming out saying that by the end of the season, we're going to see snow on The Walking Dead. And that's something that fans have been asking for a long time.
I don't know if I want that anymore.
Really?
They should have did it 3-4 years ago.
Now it's just like, I don't want it no more.
Where are they currently residing? Is it still in Washington?
Yeah, well, they're still up and around Washington, D.C. area. So it's very possible that they could get snow. I mean, of course, they film in Georgia, and it's all going to have to be fake, but...
I don't know how you're going to have all that snow in high Georgia.
Yeah. But they're like, hidden, or not hidden, but sneak pictures that people have taken of the set where there's some snow. So, it's going to be interesting to see, especially if you get into a really bloody scene. That contrast can be like 30 Days a Night type situation. Would be kind of cool.
Oh, wait, hold on. Did y'all talk about that weird little scene at the beginning of episode 9 between Michonne and Daryl? Where like they were walking and he was like, I'm sorry, I couldn't do that for you. And then,
I didn't. That was really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like, it's okay. I wish I could have done that for both of us.
Mm-hmm.
And like, thank you
Find
for
a
everything
rich
else. Yeah.
And Norman Reedus said on The Talking Dead last week that the reason that they have the X scars is because there's a line you don't cross, and they both crossed it. So I don't know if that means they got
eat a baby. Like what?
What?
That's
Sacrifice to White Walkers.
That's not what he said, though. He said that there's a line that they don't cross from that.
I don't think it was.
Yeah.
Go back and watch it. It's on The Talking Dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's something crazy, and even
He said
Michael Cutlitz that directed one of the episodes. I think it was one of the first reveal of the X Scar. Said that it was something crazy happened, and it was really effed up.
And Daryl, Norman Reedus said that it was only Michonne and Daryl that have them.
Yeah, and
that it happened only with them.
And they don't, and they're the only ones that seem to know about it. What happened too? So it was kind of like their own little excursion there. So that's really interesting. And especially when you've got Michonne telling them, like hinting at, like what happened last time or something, when they were debating whether or not to let Magna and her group in. But anyway, so of course, we spoiled it a little bit earlier, but the news that Kari Payton is leaving the show. However, it is not like a Andrew Lincoln or even a Denai Guerrera situation where they're just ready to move on to other things. And or even like a Lauren Cohen thing where it was a contract situation. This was handed down from the writer's room. Like it's a story element. And so it makes me think that they're wanting to keep his iconic death because they're saying he's going to leave sometime in between season 9 and 10. Of course, they're not going to nail down exactly. And this is weird also because never before have we gotten news that somebody was going to be written out of the show or die in the future. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
it's always shocking.
Yeah.
They always have that shock.
And now that we know
value.
it's coming, it's like,
Especially since they haven't really showed us that much Ezekiel here lately.
Yeah. We've seen one episode, I think.
Yeah.
And next episode, of course. And he's going to be on Talking Dead next week, too.
So he probably dies next week. Good Lord.
Maybe. I doubt it. I think they're going to keep the Pike scene for him. But also that also has huge implications for Carol.
Yep.
Because there are also rumors that Henry ends up on the Pike.
Yep.
So that basically would reset Carol as a character. And it also seems with the comparison this last episode with Alpha to Carol that they're really putting them on a path to meet up. And I really want to see that fight. If Alpha were to kill Ezekiel and Henry, Carol would come unglued and Alpha would be done.
Yeah.
Carol would turn into a Negan BA.
Yeah, because I mean, if
Super Rick.
Yeah, if Alpha is basically like Ed, this is like all of her demons come home to roost.
Carol lit 2 of her friends on fire for a sneeze. I am so excited to see what would happen if she had some serious loss happen.
Oh yeah.
Again.
Yeah. So would this make Carol crack? Would she become the next Alpha potentially?
Yeah, but she'd be good Alpha.
I don't know.
I don't think there's such a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying like they would probably stop wearing people's skins.
And this would be really interesting because if Carol did go full Whisperer and become the new Alpha and just like lose it and crack, then you've got Norman Reedus and Melissa McBride who've just signed contracts who are basically because Michonne is leaving, they're going to be like the heads of the show now, right? What if she goes full Alpha and set up as the next big bad, and Daryl is set up as the next, like trying to hold things together, and you've got those two with the history and they've been building up how close they are and their friendship. What if you got them two going head to head as hero and bad guy? That would be very interesting.
No. And then Negan comes up with Lucille.
Yeah, of course they're not going to do it.
Really great. whether that happens or not, but even if Carol goes full alpha, that would make a great little scene where she's shaving off that pretty gray long hair.
Oh yeah.
To do it. Which to me is the only reason you would give her a long hair again, other than the whole comfortability thing, the line for Henry. But you still don't have to make it that long.
Oh yeah, I could see her going full Shane and just shaving it.
Gown. Shane in it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, Shane was alive.
I think he would probably be the good guy at this point.
Oh, okay.
Because Rick has at least met the same level of ideology as Shane, if not surpassed it at this point.
We definitely would dislike Judith a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have Rick Grimes' hat or his last name.
Yeah. That's true.
Pretty confirmed that that's not his baby.
What is Shane's last name?
I don't remember.
I don't know either. Oh well, he's
I
dead.
don't know.
I was
Speaking
trying
of
to make a joke, and I was trying to think of the actor's last name and just say that was it. But I forgot.
Speaking of the kids, that kind of also begs the question, and I talked about it a little bit when I did that little recap before the season started back. How are they going to resolve Michonne leaving and not taking her kids with her? Like they worked some magic with Rick where he was taken, against his will. Are they going to do the same thing with Michonne?
I kind of have it, but no, and she's going to take the kids.
You think so?
If she leaves, she's probably going to take the kids, and they can just as easily put her back on her original storyline. And she go to...
But how are we going to have the show without Judith Grimes? Like that was a big deal with the time jump and everything to bring her in.
Movies.
I was about to say they're moving straight to the movies anyway.
Yeah.
This series is gonna be Daryl and Carol.
Yeah, the series will be Daryl and Carol, and the movies will be
The
Everybody
OG crew.
else.
yeah, what everybody else.
And because to me, they're gonna take Negan with them because anywhere Judith goes, Negan's gonna go. Like that's his tie to sanity right now.
Yeah.
Like she's
his new Lucille.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's his obsession right now. She's the only following that he has, in a sense. And so anywhere she goes, he's gonna go.
Real quick, did she go looking for him? It was like, I think he might come back this way. That was
weird because she said that people were out looking for him, and then she just happens to be the one that he runs into.
And nobody was like, "We're going to find Negan." Nobody, didn't see anybody out looking for him.
Yeah, and then he, I'll go back to my cell, and just thinks that they're just going to let him back in with no repercussions. I don't know. This whole thing is interesting and not in a good way.
It's weird because Carl's gone.
Yeah. And even just the way it was shot with the camera, supposedly him coming at her with the gun, and that whole thing was just weird. It didn't seem like The Walking Dead for a minute.
Nope.
And she can really handle that gun for it being a Magnum that has, I'm sure, a lot of kickback. Yeah,
for real. And we know from her first episode that she's a crack shot. So she obviously missed him on purpose.
Yeah.
Shot the tire out. But that way, she would have felt real bad if he died in that wreck.
Oops.
I don't think she would have felt that bad.
No. Who knows at this point? Their whole situation is weird. So also another thing going on is with Lauren Cohan coming back in limited form next season, they're somehow writing her in around her new show, and they're talking about doing a Maggie spinoff to kind of cover what she's been out doing. So that's...
Are they going to pay her the right amount of money for it?
Yeah, for real. And how long can that show go on? You
can make it a 6-part miniseries and cover everything.
Yeah.
Release it all at once.
Yeah, do a miniseries. That makes more sense.
So we can binge it. That's the only way we're going to keep up with it is if you let us binge it.
Yeah. I mean, she's just going to be hopping. Was she going to be like Dr. Quin Medicine Woman and just hopping from community to community, helping people?
She's going to turn into the new Georgie.
With her 7-year-old baby.
That we haven't seen
Herschel. We've seen Herschel.
Well, I mean, at
not
this age.
Not
at this age.
Anyway, moving along back to Daryl.
Yeah, so we've we talked about Daryl's broken wing. There's a theory with his broken wing. They've said that he had come down from his mountain, and they're kind of painting him as this broken angel situation. Good gravy, you all right there?
Yes.
The coffee's not kicking in like you want it.
No.
So then we get Lydia trying to coax him to the Whisperers. So the theory was that Daryl was going to fall from grace, because he's been out there and they've been watching him come down off his mountain, broken angel. But I think that theory is pretty much debunked at this point. Like, he is not going to turn to the Whisperers because he knows what Alpha does, and he is not going to go for that at all.
He's definitely not going to do that. What upsets me is y'all didn't learn from your mistake with the Daryl and Beth situation. It was uncomfortable because there was this weird romantic chemistry, but the age gap made it really weird and things like that. Like, we're 15 years apart. I can deal with age gaps, but you're painting it so much that he's like a father type uncle figure situation to her. And now you chose to do it again with Lydia because Lydia and Henry are the love interest, but then there's this weird connection that Daryl shares with it.
I don't think the Daryl Lydia situation is not nearly as weird as the Beth situation.
I think what they're doing is going to make it that weird, is what I'm saying. I don't think it's that weird yet. I think that they're encroaching very close to the line.
Just because of callback.
Yeah.
As long as they'll get stuck in a shack and get drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch yourself.
Yeah. So I think that theory is pretty much debunked. If you guys think differently, let us know. Also, at this point, where's Oceanside? They've mentioned Oceanside once since the time jump. Apparently, they're still out there somewhere. Zero mention, zero appearance, or not. There one mention. Yeah. Well, we know where Heath is. He got sent away,
but we never saw him. Is what I'm saying. Like,
that's
now
true.
they're just going to allude to him a couple more times, and then boop. And we didn't get Heath confirmation from the series.
Yeah, it's true.
That was from The Talking Dead.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people who still don't know what's up with
exactly.
Heath. Yeah, and they hinted towards it in the series, and with Jadis driving his RV at the end when she went and got Rick in the helicopter and everything.
But it wasn't confirmed enough and noticed enough for us to get it. Yeah.
I guess that'll be confirmed in the series with Rick. Stuff, yeah, in the movies, yeah. And if he can even make the movies, because I saw recently that he did sign on to a new series.
I'll kill you.
But maybe they can do a situation like they're doing with Lauren Cohan and kind of do in between. But anyways, so I think that's it for us, unless you guys have some more thoughts. Anything else?
I'm done.
All right. So we appreciate you guys tuning in. Of course, you can check out the website. It's www.broken.picturesno.com. And you can check out the store, get posters and t-shirts like this and like that. And that is www.broken.picturesno.com/store. I'm sorry. .pictures/store.
Threw us all off.
Yeah, my bad. You can see it over my head. So
Just kidding.
Anyways, so check us out on social media. Keep the conversation going on Facebook. We are Broken Pictures Social. Instagram and Twitter, we are Broken_social. And if you wouldn't mind, if you're interested in seeing us do more, on Patreon, we are Broken Pictures. But more importantly, if you wouldn't just give us a little like. I mean, you've been with us this long. What's a little like going to hurt? A little like, a little share, a little subscribe, rate and review. If you're listening to the podcast, just stringing you along there. Anyways, so I'm Dylan.
And I'm Lydia.
I'm Quin.
And we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.
Bye.